Hey gang, my name is Matt Landis. I'm a full-time middle school teacher. I'm recording this in my classroom during lunch in case my bosses see this on the World Wide Web. And I'm so excited to share with you my new adventure series for middle grade readers, The National Archive Hunters. This is my newest book about two fifth grade twins who end up disrupting an international art heist and become suspects themselves of the FBI's art crime team and attempt to save the family museum. I've been teaching middle school for 17 years with one mission: make it not boring. My subject is historically boring. And so what I try to do in my teaching and in my writing is make it come to life. That is the goal of this new series full of action and history and clue hunting up and down the Eastern Seaboard. And I hope that readers connect with it. I also am thankful to Mr. Rogers because I am going to put on a jacket just like he had. Oh my goodness. As I read for you the first chapter for First Chapter Friday of my book, National Archive Hunters. Got the dedication. Sorry, this is to my daughter. I have 4 kids, giant family. This is the first book she's read. To Aloud, my eldest and fiercest reader, who many nights pretended to be asleep, but was secretly reading the early draft of this book. May your love of stories never fade. That is a true story. Gosh, that kid. She's read the next one already too, and she helps me edit. I have to pay her for typos, 5 cents a typo. I owe her a lot of money. Okay. Here we go. Chapter 1, Do or Die. This is from the perspective of Ike. This is a dual POV between 2 twins, both 10 years old, living in D.C. Here we go. The Lincoln Memorial has 87 steps from the reflecting pool at the bottom to the chamber at the top. Millions of tourists climb them every year, mostly during the stifling summer vacation months. My family runs them every morning at 5 a.m. in the dark. Move or die is my dad's approach to exercise. Short, concise, drilled into him by the Army. My mom uses a slightly different version. Healthy body, healthy mind. My twin sister Iris prefers run. Am I getting faster or are you getting slower? She sprints up the steps 2 at a time and then back down behind me. My mom and dad are already at the top doing their push-ups and crunches. Their headlights flick back and forth across the marble pillars. It's not a race, I mutter. Just like it wasn't yesterday or the day before that, it won't be a race tomorrow. Iris passes me again. Literally every human on the planet, when jogging up steps with someone, would want to race. I'm working out my mind. She snorts. Your brain is already huge. How about some extra lung capacity for when the zombies come? I hear they're really fast. I slow down to catch my breath. Did you know that Lincoln was good at boring, warp speeding out of this fun wasteland? She sprints the rest of the way up and starts her push-ups. My mom's and dad's headlamps are bobbing back down in the dim morning light. His is an entire foot above hers. You got it, bud, Dad calls. He's wearing gray running shorts and a gray reflector jacket that says Army. He's been out for 10 years, but is still committed to the exercise routine and the gear. See you at the monument. You okay? My mom asks. I give her a thumbs up. Iris, stay with him, she shouts before catching up with Dad. That's the 3rd day in a row she's reminded me that Iris is bigger, faster, and stronger. It doesn't bother me because it's true. Also, I have none of my sister's competitive DNA, despite sharing actual genetic material. But it's a strange thing to say, all of a sudden. I run the last steps and drop to the push-up position. After a set of 20, Iris kneels on my feet so I can do my sit-ups. The cold stone against my back feels good. I beat you in the race of life, so I guess this is my fault, she tells me. I was born 32 minutes ahead of you, and you never got over it. You lost to the best and decided to never race again. I roll my eyes. I was trying to tell you that Lincoln was a really good wrestler. He only lost 1 match his whole life. Iris looks back over her shoulder at the enormous statue behind us. Lincoln's sitting in his chair, gazing out over the Capitol. Sometimes I pretend that he's focused on me, or past me, on the Congress, the Capitol building. I bet I could beat him. He was over 6 feet tall. I finished my set and we switched places. You're just over 5. Taller than you. Not the point. I'm fast as lightning. I'd scurry under him. He was really strong. I'd fight dirty. Throw sand, kick to the groin, maybe some biting. You'd bite the 16th president of the United States. This is a street fight, dude. No rules. I shake my head. This conversation has left the realm of the historical. Yeah, because we're in the present. I beg you, dear brother, join us. We do 2 more sets of push-ups and sit-ups. My parents' headlight beams are halfway to the Washington Monument, where they'll stop to do jumping jacks. After that, we'll loop back around and jog home along Rock Creek Trail. I gaze back at Lincoln. Sorry she doesn't appreciate you. He can't hear you, Iris yells, racing back down the steps. He's dead. I wave goodbye to the former wrestling champion. See you tomorrow. I catch up with Iris along the reflecting pool. We jog to the World War II Memorial, do a set of star jumps, and then cross the street. It's still mostly dark, but the sky ahead is turning pink. Gravel crunches under our feet as we follow the trail toward the Washington Monument. I don't love morning runs like Iris does, but I love that we get to run in the Capitol. The whole city is an enormous museum of monuments and memory, but every morning I get special access to all the exhibits. Mom is acting weird, Iris tells me. Tell me you noticed. A biker races by to our left. I think so. So your big brain does register human emotions? Sarcasm detected, I say in a robot voice. Eliminate source, eliminate source, eliminate source. Iris isn't wrong. I struggle to notice these sorts of things. It's not that I can't. I'm usually just thinking about other things that matter more. So what do you think's wrong with Mom? I ask. Something with work. She's been at the museum until midnight for like the past month. That makes sense. The Americana's Fall exhibit opens tomorrow night. She's the curator, so it's her job to make sure everything is in order. I'm aware of what our mother does for a living, thank you very much. Iris picks up the pace, probably to catch the biker. But it's worse than usual. Something's going on. She's double-checking each outfit, I say, struggling to keep up. Mom spent the whole summer convincing other museums to lend her 20 Revolutionary War-era outfits, including a George Washington uniform from Mount Vernon. Each one had to be carefully put on a special mannequin and then placed inside a tall enclosure. I helped her come up with the exhibit name, Fashion of the Founders. Or the guest list, ticket sales, plus all the food preparation with the caterers. There's 100 details to keep straight. The biker disappears and Iris slows down, thankfully. I heard her and Dad arguing on the phone with Mr. Lane. Something about the investors not being too happy. Mom used to own the entire museum, but since we were little, she had to sell off a lot of her share to raise money for improvements and exhibit expenses. Mr. Lane, the chairman of the museum board, speaks for the investors, which means I know the cause of the argument. They were fighting about money, I say. Iris glances over at me. How do you know that? Logic. They always fight about money, and the opening night of any exhibit is very expensive. What did you hear? They were whisper yelling. It was hard to pick up everything, but yes, the general tone translated to, there's a money problem. I slow to a stop. Iris, what did they say exactly? She jogs on a few steps and then walks back. Dad was mad at the board only letting him hire one security guard for the event. And then Mr. Lane said, we have no choice, it's do or die. I frown. What's do or die? Iris shrugs. I have no idea. Dun dun dun! There it is, gang. The first chapter of National Archive Hunters Capital Chase, read by the author. I hope that you love this book, readers, librarians, teachers, and you visit some of these places and do the hunts like the kids do. I did for most of this. I went to DC. I've been to Philly with my students. I've been to Boston. I hope that you fall in love with these characters and this story, and of course, that you realize history is not boring, but amazing. For more about me or this book, you can check out my website, matthew-landis.com. Videos, writing resources, all for free. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day. Pop, 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 pop.